Okay, let's get going. Let me just move this out of the way so that we can have a clear screen. Good. Well, welcome to our evening's presentation on something that I think is certainly life-changing. It can be quite empowering, it can be quite inspiring, and it could be something that brings a lot of hope to our lives. And I certainly hope that it will reach you in one of these ways. Because we're going to be talking about money, it is prudent that I put this income disclaimer because I am not making any investment recommendations. I'm not a qualified financial consultant giving any financial advice of such type. You may take a screenshot of this, or if you are viewing this by recording, you can just pause it and read through that. This evening, we are going to be introducing to you a financial solution and not a financial opportunity. I like to draw the distinction because we've all been on Zoom calls where we are offered financial opportunities. I have certainly had my time over the years of offering financial opportunities to people, but this evening I feel there's a comfort in my soul to know that I'm doing it from a different perspective. A financial opportunity presupposes that we're going to be exchanging time for money, there'll be outgoing effort, there's going to be an institutional that determines what our income is going to be, and it's all contractual based. When we talk about financial opportunities, we are asking the question, how do I earn money? How do I earn income? But this evening is different. It is going to be unlike anything that you've heard or you're accustomed to. And I can say that with certainty because it's the first model system of its type. And it represents not an opportunity, but a financial solution, which presupposes that the financial problem has been solved. It presupposes that income is continuously accessible, assets determine income, and it's also ownership based. Why is that so? Because if we are truly to gain control of our financial position, if our financial futures are to be what we desire or dream it to be, we have to have control of that, and ownership is the leverage point or the access point, how that happens. Financial solutions, if it is indeed a solution and the problem has been solved, then the question is, how do I grow and sustain my income? Not how do I earn it? And that's our position, and that's what we are going to be talking about this evening. We're not dealing with financial opportunities, we're dealing with a financial solution. And it's all centered around owning your financial future. Because if we don't own our financial future, who has the say in what it's going to be? Who has the say in securing it? Who is the one that's going to determine what the outcome of that will look like? And if we are going to have a sustainable, financially secure future that could go even beyond our lives and leave a legacy, then we have to own it. We have to be the ones that determine how it's going to be designed, how it's going to be forged. We are the ones that must have the say. Now, we have come up in a world where most of us, we don't even get to own our own value. And by that, I mean, we go in, we whatever our skills, our expertise, our knowledge, our creativity, whatever that may be, we bring that to the world, we bring that to the marketplace, and someone always determines what we're going to be compensated for with that. And so most of us never do get to own our value. And even if we may be in that position, what we could get to own are assets that actually generate value or or appreciate in value, but ownership is the principle that we stand on in order to be able to be positioned where we can determine what our financial future is going to be. And we're going to be showing what is available through the companies that I represent, Metaterra, which is our holding or parent company, and Bellator, which is a fintech financial technology agency under the umbrella of Metaterra that brings a technology to the world that is the first of its type, and it's not it represents the future of digital finance. And I'm saying that in the context of it represents what the future of finance across the world is going to be. Metaterra just happens to be the first to market with systems and technologies that has not been presented to the world before. And it's not presenting what it's doing to the world, what it's giving to the world as being something that's an invention or something that's isolated out there away from the world of finance. What Metaterra is bringing to the world is where the entire world is going right now across this global landscape of money and finance. It's an evolution taking place right now, a global shift, a transition that the world is going through in the world of money. And where the world is heading to, Metaterra just happens to be in the forefront of that. And what this new digital era that we are evolving into, what it means and what it presents for us is something that's unprecedented, that we've never had access to before. So we are now moving out of, ladies and gentlemen, the realm of where we work inside of systems, we borrow money inside of systems, we spend money inside of systems, but we never really get to own systems or assets within systems that affords us to be able to own our financial future. But because of the change, this revolution that's taken place across the globe, that paradigm is shifting. And this video that we're going to look at, which is the first of just a few, they're very short videos. This one is just slightly longer than the others, but this is going to help to bring context and understanding of where we are and where we're heading, and it's going to give validation to what we're going to be talking about. And so take a listen to this video. Listen very carefully. It's just a generic video that I got off of YouTube, but it explains very clearly where we are and where we're heading to.
Forget everything you thought you knew about money. We're living through a quiet revolution, a moment where the very definition of value is being rewritten. The world is tokenizing, and money, believe it or not, is just the beginning. When most people hear crypto, they think of Bitcoin, a digital currency floating in cyberspace. But that's like looking at the invention of the internet and only seeing email. What's truly happening is far bigger, far more profound. We're witnessing the birth of a new digital layer for our entire economy. This isn't just about digital cash. Imagine owning a fraction of a skyscraper in Tokyo, a piece of a Monet painting, or even a share in a forest that generates carbon credits. This is the promise of tokenization. We're taking real-world assets, real estate, art, intellectual property, you name it, and transforming them into digital tokens that live on a blockchain. These aren't just JPEGs. They're digital twins of physical things, carrying ownership rights, history, and value. Suddenly, assets that were once illiquid and exclusive are becoming divisible, tradable, and accessible to anyone with an internet connection. It's the democratization of ownership on a scale we've never seen before. So, how is this all possible? The engine driving this transformation is blockchain technology. But let's be clear, blockchain isn't just a fleeting trend, it's a fundamental infrastructure shift, as significant as the railways or the internet itself. Think of it as a new financial architecture being built right under our noses. For decades, our financial system has been a patchwork of slow, expensive, and centralized databases. Blockchain offers a different model, a shared, transparent, and immutable ledger. It's like upgrading from a horse-drawn carriage to a high-speed magnetic levitation train. We're building digital bridges between the old world of finance, Web 2, and the new decentralized world of Web 3, creating a system that's more efficient, transparent, and interconnected. This new architecture brings with it a new set of rules and a fundamental shift in power. In this new world, ownership is becoming programmable. Through something called smart contracts, self-executing agreements written in code, we can define exactly how an asset behaves. Imagine a share of stock that automatically pays you dividends, or a digital concert ticket that grants you access to exclusive content after the show. Your digital identity can be verified instantly without relying on a central authority. This isn't just about buying and selling. It's about embedding logic, rights, and rules directly into our assets. It's a world where the code is, quite literally, the law. Power is shifting from intermediaries to individuals. So, the billion-dollar question is, who wins in this massive transition? It's not just the early crypto adopters or the Wall Street giants. The winners will be those who can bridge the gap, the ones who understand both the language of capital and the logic of code. They are the new hybrid investors, the digital architects who can see the connections between traditional markets and this emerging token economy. They'll use sophisticated AI-driven tools to navigate this complex landscape, managing portfolios that seamlessly blend stocks, bonds, and tokenized assets. This isn't about choosing one world over the other, it's about mastering both. The ability to speak both languages, finance and technology, will be the defining skill of the next generation of wealth creation. But let's not get carried away by the hype. This new frontier is exciting, but it's also fraught with risk. With great power comes great responsibility, and decentralization without sensible guardrails can quickly lead to chaos. We've already seen glimpses of this. Dramatic flash crashes on unregulated exchanges, billions lost to hacks, and protocols collapsing overnight. The speed of innovation is far outpacing the speed of regulation, creating a Wild West environment where investors are vulnerable. Security is a constant battle, and the promise of a trustless system still relies heavily on the integrity of its underlying code. Navigating this world requires not just optimism, but a healthy dose of skepticism and a deep understanding of the potential pitfalls. This is more than just an investment trend. It's the future of our financial system taking shape in real time. The rules are being written right now, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Understanding this new system isn't optional anymore. It's essential for anyone who wants to protect their wealth, seize new opportunities, and have a say in the financial world of tomorrow. This isn't a game you can afford to sit out, because whether you participate or not, this new system is being built around you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, our world is changing in huge ways, and it's beginning to accelerate. AI technology changing the whole social landscape of things. Blockchain technology, it's here to stay. It's the new layer of the internet, and businesses all over the world are migrating. Decentralizations, from central authorities having full control to where decentralization is coming in, where we get to have more of a say. Tokenization, the world is beginning to tokenize. The expert says in the next couple of years, all assets on the financial market, stocks, bonds, equities, gold, silver, commodities, they're all going to be tokenized. And so we are merging into a very different world. Why this is so important is because you and I, if we are not aware and position ourselves, we may find ourselves in a trap that's difficult to navigate our way through. Tokenization becomes a doorway for us because it's a paradigm shift in ownership that enables anyone, regardless of capital, education, status, or location, to access and own assets that were previously out of reach. We now have access. So whether it is gold or any other commodity or any stocks or real estate or property, everything that has value, including intellectual property, it can now be tokenized, and it's just what is called fractional ownership. And so that opens up a doorway for us that we didn't have before. And so what we see are two worlds converging: the digital economy and the real world. And the digital reality that we are evolving into is going to encompass, and it's going to encircle, and it's going to become a new layer of how the world functions. It is not just a change in the financial system, it really is a civilizational shift that we're going through. And money is at the forefront because money is the lifeblood of society. When money flows through an economy, to the degree that it is flowing through, to that degree, the economy is going to be prosperous. And so this is where it all begins. And so these two worlds that are coming together, and because of the shift that's taking place, this paradigm shift, what is affording you and I as individuals is to be able to step into this new reality that is opening up before us, to be able to participate in the world of finance from a different position. What's that position? It's the position of ownership. We can now position ourselves to own, where we can have more say and more control in what our financial futures will be. This is the fundamental principle, because if we can't own assets, if we can't own our own futures, if we can't own our own value, if we don't have the say, if we don't have the sovereignty, then there is no guarantee for us, and it's a greater chance that our later years will be more years of struggling if we don't make this change. What we're introducing to you this evening is our miracle bridge that is bridging these two worlds in such a beautiful way that gives the average person access, because of this shifting paradigm of how we can now change our position. And instead of being inside of systems that controlled and determined what our value and worth is and what our futures would be, we can now step out of that and reposition ourselves. And so in this new convergent world, there is new money. There's new rules, regulations. It requires new governance, a strong governance. There's new technology that is forming a layer over the internet, which everything is running on the internet today, from government all the way through. But a new layer is going to cover this internet, what is going from Web 2 to Web 3, and that is blockchain technology. That changes everything. Why? Because it's a decentralized environment. We're going to talk about the real world assets that are being tokenized and the utility of that and what it can mean for us. And we're talking about a people-powered community of growth. Why is that so important? Because one, the access that the wealthy and the ultra wealthy had, what they had access to, that was privileged to them and that was out of reach for us, it's now in reach. Ladies and gentlemen, that's huge. We got to let that sink in for a little bit. We now have access. In other words, the playing field is becoming leveled with that. The other part of it for being people empowered is that if you're a guest here on this call, you're not here because like other financial opportunities where we try to bring people into a system or to join a financial model, and that represents how we increase our income, that doesn't factor in this system. People are not required to be recruited into this system in order for you to have the autonomy and have financial sovereignty. What we are in fact doing by being people-powered growth is that we are helping to empower people because we're all 70% of society living paycheck to paycheck, and because we're struggling, many of us, we are reaching out to people to become part of a system where they can have control of their financial future. So it's not about that. So whether a person becomes part of it or not, it does not change the fact that we will continue to earn. But what it does mean is that collectively we can grow together. And so what we're introducing to you in this miracle bridge that is going to bridge in these two worlds, the new world of the digital finance and the old world of traditional finance, from Web 2 to Web 3, our company has the first of its type model and system, and there will be others to come, but we are in the front of it. Just so that we get a sense of it, there's some major events that are taking place all across the globe as we speak, in every corner of the earth, that is driving this convergence that's taking place. I just put a few headlines here from some current websites, the International Monetary Fund, the European Central Bank. In fact, all the major central banks have already been piloting their digital, the central bank digital currencies. The SWIFT banking network has already upgraded to blockchain. Visa, MasterCard, they're all saying digital currencies is unlocking a new era of payments. I just want us to get the sense that the money, not just the system is changing, but the form of money necessarily has to change along with it. And the video that we just saw where it says innovation is outpacing regulation, then a huge part of that changed when the Genius app was signed into law last year by President Donald Trump. And that opened up the floodgates where now we are in a new, we've crossed a new threshold of acceleration of how this is going to work, which is why we need to really give attention to it right now. Blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies is something that we've known about, but we don't know much about this world unless we've been in this world, because it's like a world all by itself. It has a language of its own, and how money works in this dimension of digital currencies is not the same as we have been accustomed to. And there is as much cryptocurrencies being moved on exchange, almost as much as the regular fiat currencies that's moved across networks and payment systems. And so I'm just going to play this short here of the Genius app being signed, but also what it means for where the future of things are going to be in terms of this new digital era.
This afternoon, we take a giant step to cement American dominance of global finance and crypto technology as we sign the landmark Genius Act. I pledge that we would bring back American liberty and leadership and make the United States the crypto capital of the world, and that's what we've done. The Genius Act creates a clear and simple regulatory framework to establish and unleash the immense promise of dollar-backed stable coins.
This Genius Act will unlock American dominance in the crypto industry by creating clear rules of the road. It will update archaic payment rails with a revolutionary new payment system, and it will extend U.S. dollar dominance, like you said, globally. This is a huge promise made and promise kept by President Trump. We have a deal maker in chief, and it's because of your vision, your leadership, your determination, your skill that we're all here today. So thank you very much, President Trump.
With today's signing, the future of crypto and the crypto industry, the U.S. dollar working together is going to be stronger and bigger and better than ever before. And thank you, everybody, very much. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, gone are the days where we think of crypto as some nebulous currency out there that has no value. Now, there are people that's holding trillions of dollars in cryptocurrency around the world. And granted, they may be millions on a ledger, millions on a balance sheet. But current payment systems and current financial systems and banking systems are not at a place yet where it can accommodate where you can just freely spend your crypto as freely as you spend fiat currency today. as freely as you would use a debit or a credit card online or at any POS point of sale system. That does not yet exist for the world of cryptocurrency. And so, yes, the banking system is being upgraded. New payment systems are coming in. Why? Because digital currencies, the new money, that's now legislation. It's now law. It's now legal tender. So we need to begin shifting our thinking that cryptocurrencies is something that's out there and it's not transactional. It is the rules and the has changed about that. Where we come into this whole system is the foundation that we stand on with Metaterra Holdings, our parent company, is one that is solid because it's one that's built on accountability. We are a company that's very strong when it comes to compliance, comes to regulation. We are just days away from being listed on the OTC market of the NASDAQ in the New York Stock Exchange. And that's important. Why? Because once you are a publicly traded company, you now become transparent to the world. Because by law, we are now obligated to our financial affairs must be made public. And so we're constantly under regulatory scrutiny for compliance and for regulations. That means that we can be a company. We are a company that can be trusted. We have very strong professional oversight. We have logistic offices in 13 countries. And by law, even the executive branch of the company is bound to ensure that the company runs in a very transparent and compliant way. And we have a very strong world-class leadership and advisory that's leading our company into the decades ahead. And I say that because the type of leadership that we have, these men who are icons in their own right, some of them have made such a name for themselves, some of them have institutional names. They are people that think in terms of decades, and they have ensured that our structure and the way we are building will ensure our longevity. And it starts with the CEO, Hakan Torhan, who's the visionary that started Miracle Technologies back in 2017. And we've built this financial infrastructure to what it is today, and we will get a little bit more into that. I'm not going to go spend a lot of time on these individuals. You can look them up on the internet and you can read their bios. You can see their expertise and experience, and you'll get a more grounded insight into the leadership of our company. Micah Thierd, he is the CEO of Bellator Life, which is the fintech agency under Metaterra, and his site is global expansion and global partnerships, which we are continuing to forge. Douglas Anderson, he is a Wall Street icon. He's the CEO of Wall Street Capital Partners. He's the chairman of our company, and he has assembled a board of iconic members like Stephen Norris, who is the co-founder of the Carlyle Group, which is a powerhouse asset management company, co-founder of the Marriott and the Marriott Group. He is economic advisor, or financial advisor, I should say, to many governments. People may know Stephen Norris. He is a world-renowned economist. He sits on our board. He was who the first Trump administration appointed to be chairman of the Federal Reserve. And for his own, he rather stayed in public office, and he sits on our board today. When it comes to the world of finance, people like Russ Gerson, who has had decades in the area of banking and banking infrastructure, and also technology. John Bear, he was at the beginning of cell phone technology, Cellular One, that was then taken over by AT&T. So if we sell the cell phone technology we have today, it began with this technology mogul here. He was also the person that founded Widevine, which developed the technology that is now the backbone of what Google runs on. He's also the architect of streaming technology that Netflix and other platforms like that are using. So we have very strong leadership in finance and in technology. Monica Profit, she wrote the book Blockchain 101. And so we have very strong, credible leadership that we have undergirding our company and guiding it with visionary insight into the future. And we have created the Miracle ecosystem, and it functions like any true ecosystem where all components of the system are so interconnected that they function in unison and harmony. And it's a digital financial infrastructure. And the unique feature about it is that it bridges the traditional world of finance, Web 2, with the digital world of finance and commerce. And this is where the world is evolving into right now. And we have brought to the world what we call an architecture of value with Metaterra, Bellator Life, and Miracle Technologies. We call it an architecture of value because we understand that before there can be wealth and before there can be financial explosion and prosperity, value must first be created. And once value is created, that value must be able to circulate throughout the entire economy. And I call it an economy because the ecosystem, it is a digital economy, meaning that it's a full financial infrastructure. It's a decentralized financial model that also encompasses e-commerce. And so it's built expressly for individual participation. The reason why this is important is because there's no fintech, blockchain company today in the world that has a model like this. This is the model that the world is going to follow because it is, and it's already beginning to happen. But the Miracle ecosystem is a group of interconnected platforms that combine blockchain technology, payment systems, digital assets, AI, and financial tools into one unified system. Now, we can spend the entire evening just only talking about this, but that's not what we're going to do. I want you to get a good sense of what it means of how we can own our financial future by being part of what is the evolution of where digital finance and technology is going by participating with this company. Like any economy, there must be a currency that circulates throughout it. And it is very important that we capture the essence that value must circulate if it is to increase. If value is to multiply, that value must touch every sector of the economy. And as it increases, every sector of the economy must receive that. That means growth. As value increases, not only does the economy grow, but we who are participants in the economy, we grow. Now, this currency is called the Phoenix token. It's a cryptocurrency. It is unique. What makes it unique? It's the only cryptocurrency of its type that has such massive utility that's attached to a real economic infrastructure. There's no cryptocurrency on the planet that works like this. That stands it apart in huge ways as it relates to the value potential of it. It's also the only cryptocurrency that has real world transactional value. And I say that because there are many people that could be holding millions in cryptocurrency in a wallet. And there may be some major emergency and you may need to monetize $500,000 out of your crypto holdings. But there is no access to turn it. How do you turn it into spendable money? How do you turn even your stocks, your bonds, your equity, your assets that you hold that have multiple millions in value on paper, if you need it to make it into spendable money, how does that happen? Now, that's part of what we're also offering the world. Now, those cryptocurrencies don't have real world transactional value. Our cryptocurrency has real world transactional value. How is that? Well, because we are actually bridging traditional finance and digital finance in unique ways throughout an economic structure with decentralized financial services and e-commerce. And again, how this system, now imagine, let me just say this first, imagine having a cryptocurrency. This currency, those of us who participate, those of us who own systems and own assets of this structure, we earn in this currency. And I'll just say that right now, those who participate on a minimum level, you could be earning 4,800 of these coins every month. And that's at the base. 4,800 coins a month. This is just for your entertainment purposes, but it has some factuals built into this. And I'm saying that because I'm not making any guarantees or any claims. But let's say you were earning 4,800 of these coins every month. What if it had a value of Bitcoin, which is about $67,000 per coin? Or what if it was like Ethereum, which is about $2,000 coin? Or maybe if it's one of the popular but lesser coins like maybe Solana, which is about $83 a coin. And you, at the very base, you have 4,800 of these that you earn every month. What could that mean? That's just one example. And as this coin circulates throughout the economy, it continually increases in its value. Why? What gives the currency its value? Is the demand for it. Where does the demand come from? As it circulates through every sector of the economy and bridges the real world and the digital world, it has such massive demand for it. More than any cryptocurrency that has ever existed before. You just think about that. Now, how this all works is that it's built on Miracle Chain, which is our blockchain platform. We have our own layer 2 blockchain platform that interconnects the entire ecosystem. And there is a second currency that circulates throughout this economy. It's called the MIRIX token, the MIRIX token. This one represents economic growth. The Phoenix token represents transactional value. Every corner of the chain has the Phoenix token involved in every transaction. And it's in this world, it's called the gas fee or a transactional fee. Everything that takes place in the real world that's connected to our chain and everything that happens in our digital economy. So Phoenix is the circulating energy of currency throughout the economy. And as it circulates, it multiplies in value. Why? Because the more demand, the more the value increases. The MIRIX token now, this represents economic growth. So as the economy grows and expands and there's more velocity in the economy, this now gains in value as well. We earn right now, the value of this is about 80 cents. And the economy grows, we earn more and more. This is going to come together in a minute. Now, what we need to ensure is that if we participate in this financial service that has this ecosystem that has a global footprint that bridges the old and the new together, what we want to know, our own sustainable financial future and expansion and growth is this economy going to grow? What ensures that it's going to grow? What ensures that it's going to have a value in this world? We have already seen that the world is shifting to this. We have already seen that we have some of the strongest and more credible leadership to ensure that it's well positioned, and we already have a global footprint over there. What we need now to ensure its expansion and growth and continued increase in value of our currencies is that it needs throughput, it needs expansion, it needs the bridge from the old to come in and start utilizing our services. And as that happens, there is greater and greater demand. And our blockchain is unique, it's different, it's built expressly for individual participation. I emphasize that because there is no blockchain in the world that's built this way. Every blockchain platform out there, if you interact with it, you do so as a customer. You may be a customer using their services, their exchange. You may be trading on their exchange, but you're a customer that's transacting with them, and the value gets extracted up. It doesn't circulate back to you. In this one, the value that's continuously expanding, it circulates to us all the time. How? As the value of the Phoenix increases, our value increases. And as the economy grows, the Mirix increases in value, and we earn them both. How is a very unique system. Again, they built this expressly for individual participation. So this is how the throughput begins with our system. Take a listen.
Imagine a blockchain that's more than just technology. A blockchain that pays you to help it grow. Introducing Miracle Chain, the world's first revenue-sharing blockchain infrastructure. Designed from the ground up to fuel real businesses, real rewards, and real people. From the very first day, Miracle Chain powers it all. Crypto payments, merchant solutions, commissions, automation, and the viral Cha-Ching app spreading across the globe. At its core, the Phoenix token, fueling every transaction, every tap, every swipe, every payment. Demand grows and holders win. And it doesn't stop there. The Mirix token turns every moment of activity into your opportunity. Stake Mirix tokens to unlock revenue sharing, early access to token launches, and exclusive perks. And for those who want to earn from every corner of the chain, stake 4,000 Mirix tokens to become a Miracle Guardian node. This isn't just another blockchain. It's an economic engine designed for mass adoption, built for global scale. Billions are already being made in crypto. This time, you're early. This time, you share the upside. Welcome to Miracle Chain, the blockchain that grows with you. The future of wealth now belongs to everyone.
And ladies and gentlemen, that really has so much truth into that last sentence. And perhaps that will become clearer as we move on. But Miracle Chain is built for enterprise readiness, meaning that businesses around the world, and there are thousands of businesses around the world, all migrating to blockchain as we speak across the globe because of the obvious benefits that blockchain technology brings to commerce. And so all that is required and all that businesses are looking for, and we already have businesses coming on chain with us. We already have partners already doing that. But what am I saying? I'm just saying that there is more and more throughput, more and more external value coming in to our economy to expand it. The more demand our currencies within the ecosystem. And so what does that mean for us? It means that when you and I get to own, we're not just participating within a system. We're not customers of the infrastructure and its services and its system. We are owners and stakeholders that owns assets within the system that drives the functional capacity of the system. How is this possible? Through decentralization, and also expanded in through tokenization. And so these are ideas that the average person may not be familiar with, and it's two concepts that we need to become familiar with as we evolve into this digital age. But Minterra is the platform within the ecosystem that deals with this automated distribution of rewards or income by asset ownership. Because it's decentralized, meaning no central authority controls the infrastructure, it is owned by communities. You and I get to own part of this infrastructure. And once we own it, it is designed, Minterra is designed in a way that all activity that's taking place throughout the entire economy on chain and how it bridges the traditional world externally into the digital world, every single activity that happens, it's affecting the value of the Phoenix token and the Mirix token here, both involved in this circulating value. It's important to point out that it does not, this is a big comparison and contrast between the economies that you and I know. We bring our value into the workplace, we bring our value into the economy, and the value is extracted and it goes to the top, to the 5% that own the systems, own the infrastructure, and own the assets. The value in society is extracted to the top, to the 5% that owns 95% of the wealth. But we now have an opportunity to position ourselves in this new evolving era that's shifting the whole paradigm, where we get to own assets, own infrastructure within the new emerging systems that changes the whole dynamics of everything. And I hope you understand what I'm saying. These assets, they're called NFTs, non-fungible tokens. And that just simply means they are assets, they're digital assets that are unique, each of one of themselves, and they're immutable, they cannot change. They're called nodes. Nodes are computer software. Nodes are points throughout the chain that are doing different things. They're validating transactions. They're securing the blockchain. They are recording the activity. Nodes are, so depending on whatever sector of the economy is functioning, there are nodes that are ensuring that the functioning of everything is running properly. We get to own that. Just to give you an idea of what a node is, this less than a minute would give us some insight.
Nodes, the unsung heroes that tirelessly support blockchain infrastructure and lets all blockchain systems keep themselves in check. Think of them as the backbone of the blockchain. Networks require decentralized validation to ensure the security of transactions, where a decentralized network acts as a safeguard. Curious to learn more about how an everyday individual can participate in decentralized finance as a banker? That's where Miracle comes in. Node investments can be your ticket to passive income. As transactions flow through the blockchain, you, as a node investor, earn a share of the pie. It's a revolutionary way to make your money work for you, without the need for constant oversight. Our new products, Node and Leveler, are designed to make you a first mover in the world of blockchain investment. Embrace the future with Miracle, where Node, Phoenix, and Leveler work together to mitigate fluctuations. Your future starts here.
So you get it nicely. You own a node, you earn, you get paid every time it's functioning, it's validating transactional activity, it's securing the network, whatever the asset it is that you own, they're all generating income. So inside of what I'm saying is also there's access to multiple streams of income within the economy as well. Now, so we have a lot of throughput that's coming in, that's expanding the economy and increasing the value of our token. Well, one of the huge bridges that links the old, traditional, and digital world is our Miracle Pay platform. It is a crypto payment gateway, but it's so unique. There are crypto payment gateways available through other blockchains, but there is none that is quite like this. This is not just facilitating where you can now take any of the major cryptocurrencies and you can now pay at point of sale terminals around the world, and your cryptocurrency, and our system accommodates up to like 200 different cryptocurrencies, and regardless of what chain it's running on, it converts the cryptocurrency into the fiat currency. And the merchant has the option to have it go straight to his bank and deposit it as fiat, or if the merchant has a crypto account, he can opt to receive it as cryptocurrency. Either way. But more than that, our payment system, which is going to be coming soon, it has added into it where people can be purchasing things online or in store and actually have credit. You can have a credit system through our Miracle Pay system as well. And so imagine that. So how is it that we are able to bridge crypto payments with fiat all around the world? Well, take a listen to the video I'm going to share with you now. This is an article just that for me to boast, really, because I'm excited the fact that we just rolled out our Miracle Pay system globally on the 27th of this month. The 27th of February. Miracle Pay went live globally across Europe, Latin America, and it's soon going to be live here in the United States. But now we have this payment system where it's now globally interoperable payment system that's available to everyone. So how does it work? This video is going to give us insight as to what it means for us as not just in expanding the economy, but earning potential. Before I show the video, we need to let me preempt it with this. We are able to launch our payment system globally because Ingenico, Pax, Verifone, and NCR that you see here, they are the 4 largest payment providers in the world. They have tens of millions of terminals across 120 countries. You can look them up on the internet and you'll see Ingenico, Pax, Verifone, and NCR. You'll also see on their websites that we are Miracle Pay are partners with them. So what this means is that our software is now integrated into their terminals. So now there's an option to pay with crypto, and that naturally is going to be a process of gradual adoption. It's not like there's over 100 million merchants that uses these 4 systems. It's not going to be they all turn on all at once. It will be a process of adoption naturally. We also have integration with Shopify, which serves over 800 million online customers. So right away, we have a global reach with our payment systems. And what does that mean for you and I? Well, take a listen.
You've probably heard the saying, if only I were early. Early to Bitcoin, early to Amazon, early to Tesla. Well, here it is again. But this time, it's not about hype. It's about owning the rails of a new financial system. Introducing CPU nodes, digital assets that earn daily from real crypto transactions happening worldwide. Every time someone pays with crypto, in-store or online, a small fee powers the network. And if you own a node, you get paid. These nodes are already paying every single day in a digital currency undervalued today, but set to explode in the months ahead. We've secured contracts with 4 global terminal providers, giving us access to over 100 million active merchants. And we're also integrated with major online retailers, processing billions each month. When even a small percentage of that volume transacts in crypto, node rewards skyrocket. The system is active. Payouts have begun. We're funding our aggressive expansion, not with Wall Street, but with everyday people like you. Together, we're decentralizing wealth by owning the new infrastructure of money. Timing is everything. Own a node now and earn every day for life.
And that's how the nodes work, in that One way that we earn is that every time a card is tapped, swiped, or inserted at a point of sale terminal or online anywhere in the world that uses the Miracle Pay system, all of us that own CPU nodes, we earn a percentage of the fees because just like Visa and MasterCard, there are transaction fees that are paid, but it goes to a central processing center belonging to either Visa or MasterCard, and they all get the fees. In this case, the fees, our portion of it is shared across the entire network of those who own nodes, and it happens equally. I'm not going to get into the details of that, but this is so we're expanding the economy and we are compounding it and scaling it through global adoption as that is happening because it's the first system of its type that's being brought to the world that is now facilitating this global financial shift into digital currencies. And so that's one way. Now, the other way that brings more throughput and expansion is our EquiToken platform that now tokenizes real world assets. They're the ultra wealthy around the world that are looking eagerly to be able to liquidate a lot of their assets. And tokenization gives them the solution to what that is. So, and tokenization simply means I have a business or someone has a business that turns $1 million in profit every year, and I want to sell it for $10 million. So rather than look for a person, one person to pay me $10 million, I'm going to tokenize it into 1,000 tokens, each one valued at $1,000. And then when those 1,000 tokens are bought, be it by 1,000 different people or whatever the number would be, I get my 10 million, and those who own a token share in the $1 million of profit. And that so it's easier to tokenize an asset into fractional ownership than to find one person that will pay that. So this does a couple of things for us. It gives us access owning real world assets from within our economy. The other thing is that if we own nodes that deals with the tokenization, we call it our Project X nodes. We also earn from every tokenized project that happens, and we earn that in perpetuity as well, meaning we will continue to earn. Whether it's a Project X node or a CPU node, we're going to continuously keep earning for the entire life that this company exists. And just to give you a sense of the bigness of this, I'm just going to play a 2-minute clip of this and of our chairman with an interview on Wall Street.
Hi, I'm Monica Malpass here at the New York Stock Exchange for New to the Street and FinTech TV. Welcome. And we have the pleasure of having not one but two guests today. We have Pablo Rivas. He is the Senior Managing Director of Maxim Group's Investment Banking Division. Welcome to you.
Thank you.
Douglas Anderson, great to have you back. He is, of course, Chairman of Meta Terra Holdings, as well as CEO of Wall Street Capital Partners and Chairman of the New Bucharest Capital Airport. So a man with at least 3, if not more, hats. Great to have you both.
Great to be here, Monica. Thank you.
There are some exciting possibilities, collaborations that you are both considering for your companies. Tell us a little bit about that, Douglas.
Well, you know, Mediterra Holdings has kind of reached a point where we want to reach out to a strong banking firm on Wall Street to partner with us and shepherd us through an uplisting process onto the NASDAQ main board as quickly as we can. I can announce that we've acquired a shell company. Mediterra Holdings Inc. has acquired a shell company. We're going to reverse into that shell company, and at that stage, it's time for us to engage a great firm. And I've known Maxim for many years, and Pavlos is a good friend of mine, and I can't think of anyone we'd rather be with. So we're exploring that right now. We're going to try and get that papered up and get on the road to success.
Wonderful.
Another great thing about Maxim is as I said, they've been on the street for many years. They collaborated with and closed around 18 billion in the aggregate of transactions last year, and they're growing. And they're also extremely comfortable in the space that we're going in, because we're talking about tokenizing. Basically, with this airport, we'll have the largest tokenized asset in the world.
Wow.
And to have a firm that's comfortable in the emerging market, comfortable in cross-listing, comfortable in crypto and tokenization, all of those things, Maxim's a perfect firm for that.
Well, since this interview, the partnership came about. The Bucharest airport, which we're going to be tokenizing. Our company, Metaterra, is going to own 40% of that project. It's going to be a completely tokenized project, the city around it as well. And it's all, of course, going to be integrated with our Miracle Pay software. But since then, other tokenizing projects have come on board. A $12 billion project tokenizing some of the oil reserves in Saudi Arabia, and there are a whole bunch of others that's coming. All that just to be able to emphasize that we are so strongly grounded in real-world transactional activity, and there's no other company in the blockchain space that is doing what we're doing, that has established what we have established, that have going on what we have going on, what we're bringing to the world, and then, of course, being a blockchain fintech enterprise that's going to be listed on the NASDAQ. These are very huge milestones that the company has made and what we are part of, and it really excites me really to the bone to know that we can actually own assets of this infrastructure. Let me say at this point, ladies and gentlemen, that I certainly feel, along with many others that I hear commenting in this space, that this global evolution, a time is going to come. Maybe within the next 5 or 10 years, who can say? But a time will come where what we have access to and what we are able to do now in terms of owning infrastructure, a time is going to come where that is going to become more difficult to do. Because as we evolve more and more into this space, this is all new unfolding thing that's happening, but there is a big race that's going on inside of it. And a time is going to come where it's not going to be as easily accessible. Just that, a word to the wise. And so, huge growth of our economy taking place. Huge potential for the Phoenix, our currencies to escalate in value. The Phoenix Arena recently launched this about 3 weeks ago. This is our gaming platform. We just added a new game today. Last week we added a skills platform. So they have different types of games in here, for skills, for puzzles, for competition. And we have a token that's native to this arena. It's called the Turbo Token. When we launched the Phoenix Arena just 3 weeks ago, the Turbo Token, like most currencies, had its very low value, but it's already at $1,600 in value per token. That's more activity, bringing more attention to the gaming platform, and then our decentralized and centralized exchanges. These are liquidity hubs where the world exchange cryptocurrencies, trade, and so on. But ours function a little bit differently, and it also has aspects of it that interfaces with the Phoenix Arena, where you can have trading competitions as well, things like that. But all of this just to say, the world is coming towards our Miracle Bridge. That's bridging the old and the new. And finally, we have our Miracle Neo. This is our digital banking access. This is a major infrastructure that we have with our banking switch, and that bridges into the traditional world of banking. This is where we can actually have fully functional online IBAN accounts, where we can move our money from the old into the new and across borders with our crypto-enabled MasterCards. We can function through ATMs and through point of sales with the cryptocurrencies that we have. Do you see what it is that we have, ladies and gentlemen? We have an entire banking and e-commerce infrastructure that's in place. This is where the world is going. Metaterra just happens to be in the forefront, and we've been building this infrastructure for the last 8 years. And now, with their vision, we're ready to bring this to the world. And we've just launched our pay system and all the tokenizing projects. These things are now all coming on stream. And so the timing is perfect for this. For you to own the assets, there is a special offer that is on right now where you can own the Miracle Pay CPU node, which is $1,200 for one. You pay once, and you buy once, you pay once to buy it, and you're going to earn for the rest of your life from it. This is so huge. And when you understand how this works, and it will take us more time to go into detail, which I don't want to right now, but you can certainly get more information from the referring partner who is inviting you to participate in this economic model so that you can now own your financial future as well. But the offer is if you buy one for $1,200, you're going to get an additional one free. And the Project X node, which is usually $1,600, the offer is now it's going to be at $1,300, so $300 off, and this offer runs until Friday, March the 13th. These two nodes are also offered in huge packages that I would encourage you strongly to speak to your referring partner about the other packages that includes these two. So for example, other packages like you're going to get 2 CPU nodes and 3 Project X nodes, which would normally cost about $6,000 for $3,000. You get 50% off. And there are combinations where you're getting 3 Project X, 3 CPUs, and a Guardian node. Guardian nodes are hugely valuable nodes. They produce security. Their function within the ecosystem is security protocols. And so there are different packages that are hugely discounted between 40 and 50% discount. Speak to your referring partners about those assets because they are extremely great deals. Then finally is our farm node. The farm node is for those who may not be able to reach this financial output, but you want to participate within the economy in ownership, because this whole thing is about ownership based and it's asset driven. That's why I said earlier, you're invited to participate within the economy, but whether you do or not, it doesn't change the fact that we will continue to earn. I'm just emphasizing the fact because people say, well, if you're inviting me, maybe this is network marketing. It's not, because whether you join or not, it is our assets continue to earn. It's an asset-driven economy. Now, the farm node, you can get one farm node for $99. The offer on that is if you buy one now, you're going to get a second one free, or you could buy a 3 package and get 6. Now, this is working your way and scaling your way up gradually, because a single farm node only pays 1/14 of what a CPU node would pay. Right now, a CPU node, from all the transactions that's taking place and what you saw with the Miracle Pay, these nodes mine the tokens. When I say mine, they produce the currency. Currently, they're producing 80 to 100 coins every day. A farm node produces 1/14 of that. It takes 14 of these farm nodes to equal the pay of a CPU node. So there are people who can buy, you may be able to more afford a 3-pack and you have 6, you get another one, another double pack, and you can, but in order to have full access to all that is available throughout the ecosystem where you can scale and grow and compound your wealth, you need to have a full node. So this is just making it easy for people who may not have the financial output or capital to do that. You can work your way in and scale it easily. And so to have an account with the company, there's no cost to do that. You can open an account, You can have access to the website, the back office. You can see all the information that's there, and you can utilize that, and your referring partner can tell you more about how you can work your way in. The company has made it, because it's a participation-based or participatory-based economy, we are inviting the world. We are helping to change the world by offering people an opportunity to participate in this economy where we get rewarded more and more collectively as the economy grows, because as any economy grows, as the value continues to circulate, everybody brings value. That's why you're here, because you're going to earn, you're going to participate. Every time you claim your coins, stake your coins, trade your coins, participate, you're adding more value to the economy. And as we add more value to the economy and grow, that value keeps flowing back to. So it is collective growth. It's beautiful. It's collective growth, collective prosperity. That's what we have going on here. So it takes $693 to make up what would be a full CPU node. But you have an offer here where if you buy one full CPU, you're going to get an additional one free. And so just to conclude, these are asset-driven, automated incomes that are paid daily, while at the same time we're building long-term equity, and it happens in perpetuity. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just presented to you an ownership-based, asset-driven, economic model based on participation for building lasting prosperity. We have strong governance, visionary insight, we have a global footprint, and we are at the forefront of where the entire world is moving. And we are bringing to the world the first of its type, and we already have large participation. This is an invitation for you to join us. So in conclusion, you own your CPU node. We have over 100 million merchants that's going to be gradually adopted in 120 countries. Every time a transaction is made through our Miracle Pay system, there's a 2% transaction fee of all the global transactions that goes to the company, and we earn 10 to 30% of every transaction fee. In addition to that, our CPU node is also mining or producing the Phoenix token every day. Right now, 80 to 100 a day. It's also mining the Mirix token. And so you understand what I said earlier. We are earning value every day from this is how we are being paid by our assets. Our assets are not paid by someone determining how much we should get, or whether people come in and expand the economy. Our earnings are determined by the assets that we have. They are producing the very currencies that are increasing in value because of what? Growing demand. And then we have our X node, which is our passport into a very unique corner of our chain called EquiToken, where we are tokenizing real world assets. So not only are we're going to earn from all these tokenizing assets, but we get the opportunity to actually participate in owning some of these assets ourselves and building our portfolios. And so this is an economic model, the first of its kind that's out there. Ladies and gentlemen, the new era of finance is already here. It's evolving. It's beginning to accelerate. The rails have been laid down. The world is migrating, and we're at the front of it. And so my offer and extension to you is to help to join the revolution. Technology, ownership, and people come together to create a community of wealth builders. And so that's the invitation. I trust that you would have heard something that would bring a sparkle to your eye and bring a hope to your soul. And so as we conclude, I want to leave you with this short message from our company.
Tonight, look around this room. Look at the people next to you. Everything we see started with a dream shared by us. This year, we didn't just work. We built a new world together. With your dedication, we powered the Miracle Chain. We gave life to Mirex and Phoenix. Every node active today is a testament to our collective intelligence. We saw the invisible. Metaterra is vision. Through Bellator, you proved that the strongest currency is trust. We built a clean, powerful family. Not a hierarchy, but a brotherhood of leaders. This success belongs to every single one of you. Metaterra is unity. We broke barriers with Miracle Pay. Because of your passion, financial freedom is no longer a concept. It is a reality we delivered to the world. Metaterra is freedom. And look how far we've come, to beyond Bucharest. We are physically shaping the skyline, building an airport, a landmark, a history with our own hands. This is the mark we leave on the earth. Metaterra is legacy. But above all, your hard work turned into kindness for those in need. That is our true heart. So tonight, raise your glasses to what we've built and the giants we are becoming. Metaterra is goodness. Metaterra, the future is ours.
Metaterra, shaping the future of finance.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, there is so much more that we can tell you about our company, what we are doing, and what's available to you. But you can get back to the referring partner. They will tell you what your next step is to be able to participate in this economic structure of the future. How you can now take ownership of your financial future by owning the very rails of where the world is going in finance. Or you can get more information from them. What I'm going to do is just say thank you for being on this evening, and I trust this would have made a difference to your life. I'm going to leave you with our song, which to take us out of this evening. God bless each and every one of you.
Building a world on the chain, turning the future from cold to flame. Trust in the block, trust in the plan. Metaterra, here we stand. Metaterra, light the way. New tomorrow starts today. From the dust we rise again. Metaterra, we believe we win. Every transaction, every line, carving a path through space and time. From local dreams to global skies. Metaterra, we realize. Metaterra, light the way. New tomorrow starts today. From the dust we rise again. Metaterra, we believe we win. Mediterra, we believe.